We are absolutely honoured to have Jason Williams on air today. Good morning, my brother. How are you?
Good morning, Troy. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
You are more than welcome. It's our pleasure. How are you doing today?
I'm pretty good. I must apologise for my movements when I get a little bit anxious. Yeah. So everyone out there, I apologise, but yeah, I do spirit fingers every now and again. So.
Oh, yeah, cool. Hey, brother, you never have to apologise for these kind of things in our world anyway, and I hope you don't have to do it too much out in your world too. Brother, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where'd you grow up? Where are you now? Are you at the place of your upbringing?
No, I was born in Dubbo, New South Wales. Where I didgeridoo mob, and now I live at Tweed Heads. I've been here for 35 years.
The coastal life be a little bit more of a treat living there than Dubbo.
I was lucky enough. I left quite young, but
yeah, sure.
Look, it was beautiful out there. Look, the smell of the earth out there, it's a completely different smell up here on the coast. But yeah, the Bunjungalung people are awesome up here, and what a beautiful place to call home.
Oh, wow. Well, just having recently moved to close to the beach side, I'm a few steps behind you, but I can attest to how beautiful the ocean is. It's quite central in your life.
Yeah, it is.
Even on a freezing cold day and you can't even touch the water, you're still wrapped to be half a kilometre away. Something in the air, isn't it?
It's so good, that grounding on the sand, and when you get in the water, it really helps.
You're a surfer yourself? You would have been in the water a few times?
Yeah, so I surfed quite a lot, but since I've got this head movement now, it makes it a bit more difficult. Just the up and down motion of the ocean, and my head going side to side. You tend to feel a little bit sick, and my balance sort of goes. But look, if I can get out there and paddle the board, it's better than doing nothing.
Yeah, it's a good lesson there. It's not about doing it perfectly, it's just about doing it.
Getting out there and having a crack, as hard as it is. But, you get in that salt water, brother, and it's something that, that can't be replaced with just normal water.
Jason, tell us a little bit about your life more recently. We're interested in people's journeys and overcoming really tough obstacles and things that some of us will never understand. That's just the nature of things. It's a pretty rare thing that you've got. But what was life like? Give us those, I guess, a year before. What was happening in your body that kind of triggered you to take things a bit more seriously than just thinking it's a headache or whatever? What was going on?
Yeah. Well, it was probably 7 years ago now. I just had a little twitch in my right thumb. It was just a little twitch, and I didn't think a real lot of it. And, my family, I've got 4 daughters and a wife, and, they'd say, stop doing that, like I thought I was just joking around. And I said, I can't. It just does it. So, it slowly got worse, and then it was always twitching all the time. And so we went to see about it, and the doctor said, go to see a neurologist. And look, the first neurologist sort of didn't think too much of it. Just said it's like a nervous thing. And then so we just left it. And look, I don't think I slept properly for over a year.
Wow.
Pains in my leg, that restless leg feeling, and my heels would be like, I had no skin on them. I was just like bone, walking on bone. It was terrible. And just the bit of confusion and not being able to make, I guess, decisions quickly. And so we went to another neurologist, and yeah, there's not a real lot of tests that they
Sure.
can do for Parkinson's. So yeah, they did the things that they do, and basically from 2 years after the little twitch in my thumb, I got diagnosed with early onset Parkinson's, which, it was a bit of a shock. Basically, they gave me a script and a book about Parkinson's and said, keep taking these meds and you'll live a normal life. So we walked out of there in a bit of shock, but also a little bit, oh, well, we got medication.
Yeah.
I should be okay. But look, 5 years on, we could see it was getting worse, and more people were saying, how come the medication's not working? And as you can see, I've got quite a movement. My hands move, my head moves. I've got all different sorts of things. So we thought we had the golden ticket going to Sydney to get deep brain stimulation. I had to go to a movement specialist down there before this last lockdown.
Yep.
And it was about 3 weeks before I was about to embark on the little journey, which we'll speak about. And he basically said that he doesn't think it's Parkinson's, just because of how quick my movements are. And he said most people settle with Parkinson's if, they're medicated. But yeah, mine sort of stayed at quite a fast pace. I don't know if you can really see that on there, but yeah. So yeah, he basically said, have you heard of a thing called MSA, which is multiple system atrophy? Look,
had you ever heard of that, even in your journey of since going to the doctors and going to
not
every
at
possible
all.
person? No one had ever mentioned it.
Brother, look, I only heard about Parkinson's because of Michael J. Fox.
Yeah.
I didn't think ever in my wildest dreams I would have early onset Parkinson's, and now this other thing called MSA that has basically got a time span. But look, far out. There's that many things out there that people don't know about. I consider myself, I guess I'm lucky. I don't know if I say I'm lucky, but I've got time to try and make a difference. I got time to make some memories with my family and friends. I've got time to do some things before, So yeah, but I think with coming with that, the mental side, health side of things, when I first found out about the Parkinson's, was just next level. I didn't think anything like it would mess with my brain like it has.
Before that moment, before that experience, did you regard yourself, and were you seen as quite a strong, mentally fit person? I mean, you're a fiery. You sound like you've got a pretty sweet life out at Tweed and surfing and beach. Usually people are pretty well checked up there, generally speaking. And you seem like
I never had any issues like that. Like I've been around people that have and helped people. Look, I've got 4 daughters. I'm very lucky. My wife. I live in a beautiful location. We surfed, we had fun. I worked festivals for 15, 20 years, and still I'm not very good now because I probably scare more people than help people. But yeah, I was a fiery. I was deputy captain at Benora Point fire and rescue. Man, I've been lucky. I've had some great times, and look, the early times here at Tweed and Coolangatta, man, brother, it was good fun. You know, it was a different place back then to what it is now. Even though it's beautiful, it was different. So yeah, it was good. I've been lucky.
What do you think attributes? And this is obviously a very personal question. Maybe you could be a bit more general as well. But what attributes to mental health being affected? What's different aside from being diagnosed, your body doing certain things? Is it both, or people telling you certain things? Is it you don't want to burden society? Is it the medication, do you think, that screws up your mental strength, but then you'd actually need it to tell your body to stop doing what it's doing so you can function properly to survive? What did you notice? When did mental health become more central than what you would have liked it to be in your journey, in your transition, or call it, into where you are now? Or is there not? Is it very blurry? Is there
Troy,
not one day,
brother? Look, I think it's all of those things that you mentioned just then. I guess when I first got diagnosed, it was a shock, and when you can feel your body sort of not doing what you're used to it doing, I guess that was a big factor. And yeah, it's a hard one when someone asks about that, because you really don't know when that moment is that brings that on. And it's quite scary because you have no control. You know, I spiraled down some really dark holes over the last 6 years. The last one, yeah, you know, it was quite easy for me to hide away, shut the door, not talk to anyone. Yeah, and then, you know, I had those feelings of maybe it's better off, you know, my family not to have to deal with me and watch me fall apart, and all those things, you know, just play in your mind, and then you're overthinking. I was thinking of things from the past. I was thinking if I've upset someone, you know, it's all the typical things that you hear about with mental health. But, you know, when you get to that point, when you go, I think everyone's better off when not to be around. Yeah, that's when, yeah, I guess you've got two choices, haven't you? Oh, sorry, brother. It's hard to talk about, but
it's okay.
I want to talk about it.
Yeah. Someone, Captain Smithy's on. I don't know if you know Captain. Someone Smithy.
Yes.
He said, "Great day for spirit fingers." You.
It's actually a she. Yeah, Rosie.
There you go.
Rosie's a good chick. She does
Awesome.
a lot of my photography. So yeah.
Unreal. I've got a question in the chat, and this is an interesting one. I watch stutterers when they sing, they no longer have a stutter. Is there anything that stops your movements, like singing or playing an instrument or listening to music, that stops it?
I wish I could still play the guitar, but yeah, look, riding the bike,
yeah,
I can, or if I'm doing something like punching the punching bag, stuff like it's funny, little things like that. I still have my head movement, but my hands will still move, but I can get that coordination. It's hard. My coordination is falling apart, but yeah, it is true. What about that question? There is certain things.
Yep.
But it's for a time.
Yeah.
You know, you can't just be like that all the time. You know, eventually the brain catches up to. Look, there's so many things I don't know, Troy. You know, and I don't know if anyone's looked up any information on MSA. There's not a real lot out there, and there's not a real lot out there on early onset Parkinson's and far out. Mental health, as much as it's in our face every day, and you see it everywhere, there's still such a stigma about it. You know, I think I spoke to you briefly yesterday with some of the statistics, like Living has given me, you know, 9 Aussies a day are committing suicide. You know, 20 to 30 of those others are trying. You know, and over 60%, I know I'm giving you lots of numbers here, but over 60% of those people that tried to yesterday or today haven't told anyone. You know, and that was me.
There's a hashtag going around that you've alerted me to. It ain't weak to speak.
And it's great.
Yeah.
It's a everyone should use it. It ain't weak to speak. As much as it is hard and you get upset, and people want to hear. People don't. I should change that. If you are brave enough and strong enough to talk to someone, they will listen. You know.
Yeah.
That's one thing I've learned. You know, there's love out there. There's more love than you realise.
Yeah.
I didn't think there was, but far out. Everyone out there, people will listen. It's amazing, and I found that on my journey very quickly.
That would be I would say that's a positive that you'd cling to. Something that maybe you didn't know.
Yes.
Prior to the situation was how kind people are. And we needed some big reminders these days, because we can see the world as this snarky place that everyone's trying to get angry at each other. But you're right. You're having a different experience through your toughest time of your life. You're seeing kindness.
That's so true, Troy. And
it's beautiful.
Man, you would see it every day as well with what you do. There's people want to listen. People want to help. People want to love. I think more than ever. With everything that's going on, we have so many people that are struggling right now. But you know, they're some of the kindest, most loving people that you can find. You know.
Yeah. I've got another question. Sorry, Jason. He's a physio actually. He's a really good physio here in Geelong and a long time listener of RGR. He actually wants to know if during sleep, do your tremors continue or subside and you sleep quite soundly?
Okay. Now they do. I get sedated because I was having, I sort of still do, REM sleep. It's another thing that comes along with this crazy disease that I've got. I don't know if you've heard of REM sleep. It's when you act out your dreams. I don't remember a single thing. I could wake up the next day, my wife said, you've been punching yourself in the face, or you've been banging your head against the wall, you've been in a cupboard, you've been under the bed. Right. I don't know. There's lots of things. So now I'm like a little, what would you call it? A bottle of pills. Like I have that many. So I get sedated to sleep now. So I know that doesn't sound good, but at least I get rest, and my tremors are still there, but they're not as aggressive as, yeah. So, yeah. So,
I want to talk about this epic ride that you did. It's quite amazing. I'm just showing it your Instagram account, which is one of the main ways that you can follow and find out a little bit more about Jason's journey. The last thing I think people would think about wanting you to do is ride a bike, but it goes. It's a credit to how you're tackling what you've got to deal with every day. Tell us a little bit about what gave you the idea to do this, and give us some, ride a bike 1,500 Ks. Was it from Gold Coast to Sydney and back?
From Burleigh. I left from Ridden headquarters, which a great mental health organisation, and I thought it was appropriate with what I was going through to leave from there, and they were so supportive. What made me think of this idea? I guess I was just in that lost moment of, at that stage, I didn't know the diagnosis was going to change to MSA. I was a little bit scared about the deep brain stimulation, and I wasn't getting in the ocean. And I just went for a ride one day, and I thought, I'm going to ride from Tweed to surface. And, I did that, and I thought, that's cool. Then I thought, I'll ride from Tweed to Pottsville, and then I just woke up one day, and I said to Tina, I think I'm going to ride to Sydney and back to raise some awareness. And she just looked at me and went, "You're so stupid." As if you can do that. And then I just started up the Shake, Rattle and Roll Instagram, and people were just like, do it. And then I just had all my beautiful friends and work colleagues just sort of gather around me, and they just said, we want to do it with you. And the next thing I know, I've planted the seed, and the date came up, the 28th of, what was it? June. Sorry.
Yeah, right. So it's only probably 8 weeks ago.
28th of June. And I rode to, it was supposed to be Sydney, but because of COVID, sort of on our asses the whole way.
Yeah.
We got to Stockton and we had to turn around. And so I really didn't ride to Sydney, but I rode to Newcastle and back, which was a couple of 100 Ks short, but far out, Troy, brother, the support I had along the way, it was amazing. From the fireys in every town to locals to the young and the old, and just friends and people that didn't know me, that wanted to just come out and just say hello or share their story. It was unbelievable, man.
Is there any particular moments that people that you remember? I'm sure there's loads, but is there any particular people that you just remember on that ride?
There was so many.
Any super random moments or?
Nambucca was a pretty special place. It was in the morning, just quickly. We were just about to leave. I don't know if you ever been to Nambucca Heads. It's a beautiful, beautiful place on New South Wales coast. We're there, and I used to do a little a video every morning saying where I was, and the mobs that were around and stuff. And this old fella Des came up with his dog, and he was quite you could see he was a bit lonely, I guess. And he was up for a chat, and he just wouldn't stop chatting. And it was really good. And he had a Manly hat on, Manly Sea Eagles,
Right, yeah.
a rugby league team. And I said, oh, good hat. I go for the Manly Sea Eagles. And he goes, oh, yeah. He said, I used to play for him. And then he just went on and on. And then eventually, he had his little dog. I said, oh, sorry, Des, I've got to keep going. And so we're an hour into the ride. We left Nambucca, and I was on my first stop about an hour in. And this old falcon pulled up on the side of the highway, and the dog, and it was Des. And he said, I haven't been able to stop thinking about you, mate. And he said, can I get a picture with you for my family? And I was just like, wow, And he said, I want to give you a check. And good old Des, he had his checkbook. I didn't even think people still had checkbooks.
No, they did I.
Look, and he said, I can only give you $50. And I just thought, that was $50 for someone like that. It was probably a lot of money, and I didn't want to accept the check, but the guys I was with, Joe and Brendan, said, no, he wants to do it, just take it. And I never ever cashed it. If Des, you happen to be listening to this, mate, it's not that I didn't want to. It was just overwhelming, your kindness, to come and find us out on the highway. He was well into his 70s, I'd say, probably, I don't know, maybe even older. It was quite amazing, There's so many stories like that, Troy, people sharing. It was very hard, and I learned very quickly that people wanted to talk after hearing me talk. People telling me some things that I wasn't expecting, and it was a bit hard at the start, but I soon realised that for me, just getting up in front of people that has got a physical issue, like a disability, and doing something, and suffered with mental health, people sort of felt that maybe he's the one I can talk to, and I was always, it was my thing, it ain't weak to speak, what have you done to improve yourself today?
Seems to be a common vibe right across wherever you go in the globe. The ones that have been hurt the most or gone through the most are the best listeners, or they're up for they understand. Maybe it's they understand,
and I think
very generalisation. I know there's some good people out there that haven't been through tough times, but there seems to be this deeper level that you meet on when you share your battles with someone, and vice versa.
And I think people feel that they're not going to be judged as much, I guess, when they hear someone tell about their darkest moments, in public, straight up. I guess for them, they go, well, if this guy's doing this, I can talk to him, and look, I don't want to get into some of the stories, but people that have gone through breast cancer, people that had breast cancer, people that are going through mental health problems, people who've lost their wives or husbands to suicide recently, it just seemed to build and build. And I'm no expert, I'm no psychiatrist. Look, I'm struggling with my own stuff, but I listened to them, I gave them a hug, and I think at the end of it, they felt better, and it was a really, really special feeling. And for all those that were with me on my ride, I had a great crew, and they would rotate. They would say the same thing, like what we learnt on that ride, all of us, even though I was doing the riding, they were just sitting in the van. No, they were actually very, very good. They were organised. They organised so much. I wouldn't have been able to do it without them, you know. Yeah, we all learnt so much. And there was moments where we all cried. There was moments where we were just, blown away by people's honesty and the realization of, like I said before, the love that's out there. It's unbelievable, man.
Jason, I've got one more question here before we kind of kick on. And it's a great question. I really appreciate your time, brother, and I know I understand that you'd have things in your day that you've got to do and get onto, but I really appreciate your time. And the listeners, there's lots of comments coming through. What a great interview. Thanks so much for sharing, Jason. There's another one here. Your words are holding power. Jason, thank you for using your very difficult experience to raise awareness and help others. Incredible. The question is from Maddie, who's up in the Gold Coast.
Hey, Maddie.
Yeah, there is so much positivity through challenges such as this. If you can sit back, do you think you would have found yourself as much had this condition not come along? And how do you qualify your own achievements now versus your achievements prior? Great question, Matty.
It is. How do I answer that?
It's a bit of a hypothetical, isn't it? Because you can't pretend that you didn't go through what you have, but
I think I had to go, or going through what I am to understand everything about illnesses and mental health, physical disabilities, even carers. We don't mean to be, but we're very blind, I guess, to all these different things until it's someone in your family or yourself or around you. So I guess you turn off to a lot of these things, which is quite understandable. You know, we all live busy lives, and so I definitely think going through what I'm going through and what I have been through, and then being told you've got something that's not nice, it has definitely made me more aware and wanting to help people. I've always been a kind person and wanting to help, but I guess it's changed a little. Well, a lot.
Has it been? Has it helped you? Has it been difficult to accept help from others?
Yes.
Saying you're a helper, usually people that are good helpers usually don't look after themselves as well as they could, or take help from others because you think you can do it yourself. And probably for the most part, you sound like a really strong, centered person living in Tweed for so long, and being a fireman, you have to be pretty responsible. But asking help from others can sometimes be the issue. It's hard,
man.
And you need it. Well, we all do, but
But I think that's been one of the toughest things. Is asking for help. I struggle with it still, man. Brother. You always want to be the strong one. Not to be a hero, but just to I don't know. I guess it's a bit of a bloke thing too, and I guess the
Yeah.
generation we were brought up, we weren't meant to cry, or we weren't meant to whatever.
Mm.
We were meant to be the man of the house or look after people. And then I became a fiery and a deputy captain, and that was my life.
Yeah.
That was what I had to do, was protect people and help people. And then when I stepped down from that, and I guess that was, one of the hardest things. It was stepping down and then asking for help. And that was where some of the mental issues started too as well. But I've gone off track again. I'm sorry.
It's all good, Jason. It's so good. I'm going to tell you right now, man. You are a hero, and I know you would have heard this before, but your heroism is tenfold, 20-fold compared to what you thought. I like to think that I've got some. We're a bunch of criers here, Jay. So if you ever want to come on and just have a cry, just sit in the chat on Twitch one day in our show.
I've never cried so much in my life. I think my last night I cried. If in my time that I have left, if I can just help some people, whether it's carers, whether it's people that are suffering from a disability, mental health, a terminal illness, if I can help one, look, I'll ride to Sydney again. I'll ride to Melbourne. I'll ride to your studio while I can. I don't want to be someone out there trying to do things that he's not qualified to do. But if people want to speak, if I'm inspiring someone to get up out of bed today, go outside and look at the sunshine, or put your feet in the water, or take your shoes off and feel the grass, or smell that coffee that you make. Just take a moment. And life can be crap sometimes, but holy hell, it can be so beautiful, and we've just got to realize that. And as nasty as it is that we get put in these places and get these terrible things or lockdowns, love's there, and ask for some help. Ring a friend. Ring the people that you think will say or brush you off are normally the ones that are more likely to listen. And I reckon you agree with that, hey, brother?
Amen. Hey, we've got some comments coming in thick and fast now. Thank you for sharing your story, little Kimo. The Squiz in Queensland, what an amazing story. Thank you so much for sharing. Kylie Lardu, Jason, your ability to give others a chance to be heard, to listen to their own struggles amongst your own is truly a gift. Absolutely brilliant. The Fears, thanks so much, Jason. I've sent a link to a clinic on the Sunshine Coast who I would encourage you to research and explore the possibilities of their ANF treatment. Best of luck on your journey. Keep living all the good. Matty Sparkles, and he assumes New South Wales in Origin versus Queensland.
Go the Blues.
Maori Elvis, or Maori Elvis, thanks for sharing your story, Jason. So powerful and inspirational. Squiz made a comment here. Listeners on RGR Family might not get this, but my thoughts are that God, whoever that is, chooses well, because what a beautiful soul Jason is, worthy of so much love and respect. And Jano, some big hearts there. Jason, I've put up also a link to your GoFundMe page. It's still open. I know you've had a tremendous amount of donations and support, but if there's anything that our listeners can do to support, please head to that GoFundMe link. Follow Shake, Rattle and Roll 2021 on Instagram to keep in touch with Jason. But there is a donate now, and some of the things that you are supporting are listed in that GoFundMe page. I won't list them all because there's some quite a list of support that you need. But brother, I really appreciate your time. I'm in the blessed seat over here that gets to speak to people like you. But
thank you, Troy.
I appreciate your time, my man.
I appreciate you having me on. Thank you so much. And if you want me to take that offer up to ride to down there,
Hey, I didn't offer you. You
let me
did.
know.
Well, hopefully half of it's hills. It's a long way down to St. Leonard's, but I tell you what's down at the end of St. Leonard's is.
I'll drag Ratu along. Ratu.
Maybe you should have a chat with him first about that. Hey, some good rides down here, and it's coast to coast. So, oh brother, you're always welcome. You got a cup of tea and a ocean swim down where I am. Thanks, Jason. We'll speak to you soon, and we'll keep in contact.
Yeah, give us a bell anytime, Troy. Thank you.
You're the man.
Thank you.